My wife's best friend said she'd been testing my loyalty by flirting and I failed by staying faithful. I'd been married to Jenna for 3 years when Vanessa moved back to town. They'd been best friends since college, one of those intense friendships that felt more like sisterhood. When Vanessa got a job transfer to our city, Jenna was ecstatic. She talked about it for weeks, planning all the things they'd do together, how great it would be to have her best friend close again. I was happy for her. Jenna had been lonely since we'd moved for my job 2 years earlier. She'd struggled to make new friends. Having Vanessa nearby felt like the solution. Vanessa was beautiful in an obvious way, tall and blonde, with the kind of confidence that made people turn their heads, but she was Jenna's best friend, which meant she was off limits in my mind. Not off limits because I was tempted. Off limits because that's how you respect your wife's friendships. The first month Vanessa was in town, everything seemed normal. She came over for dinner twice a week. She and Jenna went out for drinks on Fridays. The three of us watched movies on Sunday nights. Vanessa was funny, easy to be around. She told stories about her dating disasters, made Jenna laugh until she cried. She asked about my work with what seemed like genuine interest. She fit into our lives seamlessly. I was glad Jenna had her back. The first time Vanessa touched my arm, I didn't think anything of it. We were in the kitchen. I was making pasta. She reached past me for a glass. Her hand brushed my shoulder. Sorry, didn't mean to crowd you. I moved over to give her space. That was it. A normal interaction. I forgot about 5 minutes later, but looking back now, that was when it started. The testing, the systematic attempt to get me to respond to her advances. Except I never responded, and somehow that became proof of guilt instead of innocence. The touching increased over the next few weeks. Always casual, always with plausible deniability. She'd sit next to me on the couch instead of in the chair. She'd lean against me when she laughed, put her hand on my knee when she was making a point in conversation. Each time I'd shift away subtly. I didn't want to make it awkward, didn't want to embarrass her by making a big deal out of what could have been innocent, but I also didn't want to encourage anything. I loved my wife. I had no interest in Vanessa beyond polite friendliness. Jenna never seemed to notice the touches, or if she did, she didn't comment. Vanessa was tactile with everyone. That's just how she showed affection. I told myself I was being paranoid, reading too much into normal behavior, but my body knew something was wrong. Every time Vanessa touched me, my shoulders tensed. Every time she sat too close, I found an excuse to stand up. My instincts were screaming at me to maintain distance. Then came the comments. We were watching a movie, the three of us on the couch, Jenna in the middle. During a romantic scene, Vanessa sighed. I wish I could find a guy like you, David. Jenna beamed. I know, right? I got lucky. She kissed my cheek. Vanessa watched us with an expression I couldn't read. Lucky, yeah, that's the word. Another time, we were at a restaurant, celebrating Jenna's promotion. Vanessa raised her glass for a toast to Jenna, who somehow snagged the only good man left. Seriously, David, are there any more like you? Everyone laughed. Jenna squeezed my hand under the table, but something about the way Vanessa said it, the way her eyes lingered on me, just a second too long, made my skin crawl. After dinner, while Jenna was in the bathroom, Vanessa leaned across the table. If Jenna ever gets tired of you, I'm first in line. She said it with a smile, like it was a joke. I forced a laugh, changed the subject. When Jenna came back, I didn't mention it. The comments got less ambiguous. Vanessa started texting me directly, instead of in the group chat with Jenna. At first, the texts were innocent. Can you ask Jenna if she wants lunch? Do you guys have plans this weekend? But then they shifted. You looked really good today. That shirt brings out your eyes. I noticed you've been working out. It shows. I didn't respond to those messages. I'd screenshot them, then delete the conversation. Some instinct telling me I might need evidence later, but also not wanting Jenna to see them and misunderstand. I decided to handle it myself. I stopped responding to Vanessa's individual texts entirely. Only reply in the group chat. Only engage when Jenna was present. I thought that would send a clear message. Instead, apparently, it sent the opposite message. My silence became evidence of guilt. 4 months after Vanessa moved to town, she showed up at my office. My assistant buzzed me. David, there's a woman here. Says she's your wife's best friend. I told her to send her in, my stomach already nodding. Vanessa walked into my office, wearing a dress that seemed too formal. She closed the door behind her. I was in the neighborhood, thought I'd see if you wanted lunch. I stayed behind my desk. I'm swamped today. Rain check? She walked closer, perched on the edge of my desk. We never get to talk without Jenna around. That was intentional. Vanessa, I don't think that's appropriate. She tilted her head. Appropriate? We're friends. Friends have lunch. We're friendly because you're Jenna's best friend. Her smile didn't falter, but something hardened in her eyes. I didn't realize I was such an inconvenience. That's not what I meant. I just think it's better if we keep things in a group setting. She stood up, smoothed her dress. You're being weird about this, David. She left. And I sat there feeling like I'd just failed some test I hadn't known I was taking. Full story is linked below or on my channel.